You all have seen these great miracles all over the world, and I am excited about what God has been doing. I'm telling you, this is the hour and the day where we are seeing God do major things, tremendous things, and he wants you to be a part of it. All this week we've been interviewing people who the Lord has appeared to, and the changes that has been happening in their lives and how it has dramatically affected their families and their businesses, all of these things. And so tonight we have some special guests, sons and daughters of mine, and they've been with the ministry for about 2 to 3 years. I'm so excited what God has done in their life, but you got to hear their testimony. It's a tremendous supernatural testimony of how the Lord sent them to the ministry and how the Lord appeared to them, not even knowing me. And I'm telling you, we are seeing God do this continually. I want you to know something, that there is nothing impossible with God, nothing at all. There's nothing you could ever go through that God cannot fix. And so I just want you to know, get ready for what the Lord is about to do. I'm happy that y'all are here today. Cliff Ware and Ashley Ware,
yes,
thank you for being
We're
here
glad
today.
to be here.
Yes, it's
Great,
awesome.
great. You know, I always mess with your husband, you know.
Yes.
And I always joking with him, and, you know, he got his bright whites out. Pearly whites, that's what they call them, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm just so excited about what God has done in your life or beginning to do in your life. And so I would like for y'all to tell the people the testimony, how Jesus came to you and how you came to the ministry. Of course, it was a very supernatural way. Yes, and, you know, I knew I was God's friend, but, you know, just him showing other people just makes me feel good. You know what I'm saying? I love for Jesus to talk about me, that I'm his friend. I love that. You know, so tell what happened.
Yes, sir. You know, in the beginning of 2007, you know, I freshly got saved on January the 6th, and, you know, at that time, you know, I was freshly out the world, and, you know, used to be a Crip. You know, I used to sell drugs, rob people, did all types of things.
So you used to be a Crip, huh?
Yes, sir.
And used to rob people and hit people over the head and stuff?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go on.
And, you know, I wasn't raised in the church or anything like that, but, you know, I always believed in God, and, you know, I used to see demons. So, you know, I wasn't brand new to the supernatural. So, you know, after getting saved, you know, I had almost got murdered 3 nights in a row at the end of 2006.
So you almost got murdered 3 times in a row?
Yes, sir.
In 2006, okay.
Yes, sir.
You know, by the time I was 21, I had been to over 70 funerals, you know, my friends being murdered and things like that.
Wow.
And so I knew it was too close to me that I would be next.
Right.
And so, you know, one night I went home and, you know, I wasn't in church or anything, but I gave my life to the Lord and I asked him to save me. And, you know, from that point forward, you know, I just had this hunger and desire to read the word and to go after him. And I came across the scripture in John 14:21. Where the Lord...
Before you go into that, how were you almost murdered 3 times?
Well, it was a few days before Christmas, 2006, and, you know, the first night I was leaving the trap house, and, you know, somebody had ran up on me, and he told me to lay it down. And this was the first time I ever heard God speak.
Lay down your gun?
Lay down my body on the ground.
Oh, okay.
And he was going to rob me. And so, so the Lord spoke audibly to me. That was the first time I ever heard God speak. And he said, no. He said, if you lay down, he's going to kill you. And so I said, I'm going to just take the gun from him. The Lord said, no. He said, if you try to out-wrestle him, he's stronger than you. He will kill you. And then, you know, I started getting offended at God because he told me to run. And, you know, I'm thinking, why would I run? He's just a few feet away from me. And so I started to run. And when I took off running, he shot at me twice, and I heard both of the bullets whiz past my right ear. You know, and at that moment, I told God, I said, thank you for saving me and, you know, protecting me. I'm going to live for you forever. And, you know, that wore off after a couple hours. And
Oh, so you disobeyed after that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You was like when some of the people in jail, they said, God, I'll serve you, because
Yes,
they
sir.
locked up, then they go back to doing their evil things.
Yes, sir.
All right, go on.
And so, you know, at that point, you know, I had retaliation on my mind. And, you know, the very next night, I was, you know, riding with somebody that I used to sell crack to. And they just happened to run the red light. And the police pulled me over. And you know, they searched the car for the crack. But I had swallowed 2 8-balls at the time. And, you know, about an hour and a half it went by. They was, you know, searching everything. And the crack was starting to get down into my system. And, you know, my heart was starting to speed up, and I've had a number of friends who died from that, you know, going into cardiac arrest. But I told God, I said, Lord, if you let me live through this, I'm going to live for you forever. And sure enough, he let me live through it. And, you know, they released me, and I went back to the trap house, threw it up, chopped it up, rebagged it, went and sold it.
Wow.
You know, so I lied to God again.
So you lied to God 3 times? Two
That was
times?
twice at that point.
Okay.
And, the very next night, I was downtown Cleveland, and a few guys that I used to be with all the time, you know, we were in the bus shelter waiting on a few people, and they wound up pistol whipping me, robbed me for everything I had, and, you know, beat me up pretty bad with the gun. And, you know, I don't know why God saved me that time, you know, because that's what I was thinking. It came back to me.
Right.
It kind of reminded me of Peter and the rooster. You know, God reminded me of what I told him. And I went home to go get my gun, and all of a sudden, this conviction came over me, you know, and I was getting mad at God. I said, Lord, you seen what they did to me. The least you can let me do is, you know, hurt their family by taking them out. And, you know, I couldn't see back then how twisted my mind was. But,
Yes.
you
So
know,
you was talking to God about murdering people.
Yes, sir.
He trying to get you saved.
Yes, sir.